Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everyone. So, let's talk about what we're creating for the new year, right? Are we coming into the new year with the same old thoughts, same old actions, or are we creating something better for ourselves? Are we leveling up? Because that's what I'm doing. I'm leveling up in the new year. Um, let's talk about it.
Okay, let's do this.
Um, I do like his mic in here, so I gotta turn it off. Um, so what are you doing for the new year? Are you creating some new things? You leveling up, or you we staying in the same place?
I definitely don't want to stay in the same place. Hopefully, not really hopefully, but I look at it as everything I wrote down last year,
Hmm.
I got to actually put it to action.
Okay. Okay.
And even though I started, I need to go even further with it.
Okay.
So it comes down to making a timeline and say, hey, at this time, I'm going to have this. I think back my time in service, how every duty station I went to, I tried to at least accomplish something.
Hmm.
Because when I look back, I didn't want to say I didn't do something.
Yep.
And I think that's the same way when you look into the new year, you think, okay, what am I going to do next year? As I heard one of my friends talking about it, he was saying, you know, I had a New Year's resolution. This is what I'm gonna do. And I asked him, I said, if you really want to do it, shouldn't you start now?
Hmm.
Um, but he wanted to wait until after the Pro Bowls and football season is done. With that way he
We,
can
are we
drink.
are we dieting? Are we? I mean, what are we
Hey,
doing?
it's it takes a lot of commitment, and I think people are thinking that well, I can commit after I get through this phase. The phase I still want to have fun. It's almost like saying, "Hey, I'm going to do sin tonight, and I'm going to ask for forgiveness tomorrow." Something like, no, just don't do that.
No,
Start now, doing the right thing.
we sinning now? What are we? What is?
Hey,
I don't know.
these are
We
some
just
of the
went to a
things that
whole
I
next
hear.
level, guys. I don't know what this. Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish.
No, go ahead, please.
Here's the deal, right? With these thought processes on I'm going to wait till this time. So anything you want, anything you want to create, nothing will come to you unless you put action behind it, right? So if you're always putting what you want on hold, what is that saying about you? Because you say I want this, but I'm gonna wait till this. But then when that next thing comes up, oh, but I'm gonna wait till this. So we're all constantly playing that circle go
Yes.
round of wait, 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 wait. And if it comes to our health, right? So people believe that cutting out things and no longer like let's say carbs, right? Fried food, all this stuff, everybody they take and they cut it all out at once, right? All these five things. And then they start craving stuff, right?
Mhm.
And then that comes with the crash. So when you try to do five things at once, it's an automatic fail because your mind is not set up to stay on track with those new things you're trying to create because it's always going to go back. Oh, no, 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 that's too hard. What are you doing? That is too hard. We cannot do that. Go back to what you've been doing because you were comfortable and safe back there.
Yes.
But nobody understands. Make one change now, right? So say your goal is to drink more water, and then you got 10 more things. Let's start with drinking water. Start small, right? We're gonna drink, let's say, if you don't drink any water, 8 ounces. Let's start with 8 ounces. Because I mean, I'm the like, okay, drink 10 more ounces. Like do this, half your body weight is what we're shooting for. So I'm gonna tell you right now, if you 100 and somebody pounds, 8 ounces ain't doing a thing for you. It ain't doing nada. So your first initial thing needs to be getting your body into a flow, right? Drinking the water. And if today, I'm not telling you go out and drink your half your body weight tomorrow if you don't even drink water today. But take the baby steps. Then it is that next thing you want to do, right? So let your body get acclimated, because I know, because we talked about the water thing before, and you was like, I peed too much, I gotta cut it off at this time, I gotta this. There's so many stipulations to the water. Like everybody got there, and then people like, oh, I don't like the taste of water. Water don't got no taste, but we got fixes for that, right? We could infuse it. But coming into the new year, everybody always has this vast list of, this is what I'm gonna do. But you ain't did one thing last year. But now you like, oh, I'm coming in strong. And then by what? The 12th?
The 12th. Hey, you done.
Nobody is. So stop making New Year's resolutions and start committing to creating a different reality for yourself. Now, it starts by saying, you know what, this is what I'm going to do, and get up and do it. I've read the 5-second rule, right? Where you say what you want, you take action, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you do it. You don't stop. You don't think about it. You just do it. And then it becomes a habit if you continue to do it. But you got so many people that like getting up in the morning, right? He quick to say, I'll get up at 5:30 for everybody else and blee, 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 right? I mean, I became a member of the 5 a.m. club. I get up and I'm up. And when I made the decision to do that, it was because it allowed me to get my workout on. So I didn't have that excuse of, oh, I didn't get to do it because RJ didn't want to go run. Or, RJ didn't want to go do this with me. So if I get up before everybody else, get on because I don't leave in my head, I could be great and go out running, but that's not a real thing. Because who gonna watch the kids when I'm being great? So I get on the elliptical. I have to adapt and adjust to what I have going on. And that's what we have to figure out. If you have something going on in your life that there's a limitation, right? Figure out how to get around that limitation. Figure out what works for you. Do not do what I do. Do not come and say, oh, what are you doing? So let me do it. Because you'll never succeed in what somebody else is doing. It will always end up being a hiccup, an excuse, a reason for you not to do it. So coming into a situation knowing that, I am not really good at that. So that's not my route I'm going to take. Just changing little things gets you to that next step. And I'm going to come back to that holding off to the Super Bowl, holding off to whatever and whatever and whatever. If we want to make a change, decide what you want to do and start now. Come Super Bowl time, you can still drink. You can still do what you want. Just knowing that you have set your mind up to say, this day, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and then get back at it. Because if you wait till that day, you have now X'd out, because you know those words when you say, I'm going to do this, but that whole beginning sentence doesn't even exist anymore because that but stopped everything else you have going on. So waiting is a game. And ask yourself, how long do you want to continue to play this game of, I'll wait till, Monday. February gonna come back around. I'm gonna do it in February. So the whole of January, you just alleviated, because Super Bowl is what? Halfway through the month? Then that's 15 days that you've now wasted because you don't want to fail. But you've already failed because you came into the new year preparing to fail. Set it up, create where you want to be. Say, you know what? One thing, and I wish I had the printout. Doing the mind map. I know I talked about it before. I don't know where's that. Hold on, y'all.
So,
I thought I had it, but
even when you're talking about the mind mapping, and you were talking about doing one thing at a time, or just focusing on that, I found that to be very, very helpful. And the reason why I said that is because when I wrote down the things that I wanted, say I want. Let's just say I want a car. This could be anyone. I want a car.
Yeah.
Okay. But then I also want a house. I want to get my kids some new clothes. I want all this stuff. You start writing it down. When you see it on paper, it starts to hit you, and you're like, okay, well, I can't have the car yet because I need this other stuff first. Because if I get the car now, then that's going to take money out of my paycheck every month.
Yeah. So
what can I get right now? I can get clothes. I can hold off on the car. And instead of paying a $500, $800 monthly payment on the car, then I can use that money and get these little things first.
What kind of
and hold you up
I'm
because
just saying.
so yeah. But when you start writing it down, you will start seeing some of the gaps
Yes.
into it.
Yes.
So you got to start prioritizing.
Yes. So for the car thing, right? If you want a car right now, and you are let's go with your high end, right? The 800. Look at what you can do and start putting money aside,
Yes.
right? So separate your account, because everybody's bank lets them do a little separate account, or open up a separate account and literally say, for my car, label it. Just put a label on it. But the action behind.
But even then, if I may, even then, if you start saving now that monthly payment, then save 6 months. Then you know you have budgeted in. Now you know you can afford it and still pay your other bills.
Yeah,
But what
but
people do,
you said that they didn't have they wanted to buy the little things first, so we're gonna
well,
save
yeah,
a little bit.
but I'm just going off of what you're saying. If they just
Oh,
put that
yeah.
money to the side,
Yeah.
it also shows them that, hey, well, maybe I can do everything else too and still make that monthly payment instead of now getting that vehicle, which I think we know people like this who get that vehicle and now like, oh man, I got this
Yep.
deal, I can't do this or I can't do that. Well, don't rush to failure.
So I follow Black Millionaire on Instagram, and he was talking about it. Do not buy a new car. Do not buy a brand new car unless you have $1 million.
Yeah.
$1 million.
So
like $1 million, y'all. So remember that number when you go out and you like, I want this brand new car. I mean, yes, but no, somebody may not be talking about a brand new car, but I'm just saying that came to me, so I slipped it in.
yeah, I think I've come across something like that too. And when you have someone like that who are really not, I don't think they're, I don't want to say budgeting, but it's a fraction to it, or like, hey, this percentage of your pay, this percentage or whatever, this is what you can afford.
Yes.
Instead of throwing out there $1 million, because when you see something like that, say TikTok or YouTube or anything, always go to the comments, because comments will tell you what the majority of people think. And they're like,
no, when I tell you this, I don't follow the trending. I don't do that. I'm following people who gonna make big business, big money. We're not playing these little baby games. So he is into teaching other Black owned businesses, all of that, into creating what you want. Like, not no longer teaching, they're teaching, and it's a full group of them. And for me, I'm not in the end of this statement, right? It's not about just Blacks, but people create these thoughts because so-and-so got a car, I'm gonna go get it too. But you follow behind everybody else. You're not committed to you and what you want. You're too busy worrying about what everybody else doing, and you trying to keep up with the Joneses when the Joneses done left you 10 years ago. Like, you ain't gonna keep up with them. You're not. Stop trying to keep up with the Joneses. And Shane said he agrees. Don't buy a new car. Buy one 1 year or 2 years old, because as soon as you get in that car, it's done. Depreciation is gone. It's all over. You thought you was cute till your car ain't worth what you paid for it. But the mind map found it, right? So you putting what your goal is in the center, and then you do the mini. If the big goal is in the center, Lord, hold on, y'all.
Yeah,
you got it, right? So the big goals in the center.
Yes.
And then the small mini goals for you. If you don't have that many small mini goals to get to your big goal, don't worry about it. But this is how you attack what you need to be doing. And if you're content where you are, you said, I made it, I'm done, I'm good, still be great. Do what you do. But for those of you who do need to have a focus, it needs to come down to pen to paper. The notes on your phone, the notes on your computer, they don't help you take action. It's written, it's like scientifically proven that 80%, I think it's 80%, I could be wrong, I can come back, I'm gonna double check my notes. 80% of people who write it down are more likely to achieve their goal than those who think about it or type it in their phone, right? Because everybody feels as though, oh yeah, I know what I want. Okay, cool. At this point, if you listening to me and you're like, I made this far without doing what you say, do it big. This conversation is not for you. It's for those who need to level up, because 2022 is level up time. Stop playing games. Stop showing halfway showing up. Start creating what you want, because we all are capable of accomplishing everything we set our mind out to. It's just what you're willing to do and how far you're willing to take it. Are you willing to just continue to do the same thing you did last year, sitting on your phone, looking through this, doing that? I'm gonna do that, and then nothing gets done, and then you mad at what? Who? You got attitude because so and so is doing bigger than you, or you feel you ain't where you want to be, so you mad at the damn world. Be mad, like you are in all your rights to be mad, but really you gotta look at self and say, I did this. When do you start taking action and accountability for yourself? And that's what it boils down to: being accountable for where you are and what you do to show up.
And people will stay in that comfort zone. And when you look at their surroundings, they see that their surroundings aren't really going anywhere either. So what they would do is that they're okay. They'll live that life every day. But the minute they see someone that they know is starting to get ahead, then they look at themselves like, oh,
yeah,
am I getting ahead? Wait, what am I doing?
Yeah.
I tell you, and I see it, because it almost becomes a race. And not just that. When you start seeing someone kind of get ahead, then you'll have people that try to come within your circle. And then they'll say, well, this is what I'm doing. Well, okay. Hey, good for you. But this is not a competition. If everyone would just go out there and try to accomplish what they want to do with their life, stop thinking about everybody else, looking at everybody else and see what they're going on, and compare themselves to them and say, hey, you know what, well, they did this, then I need to do this. Because if you try, as you mentioned earlier, you try to keep up with this person, you don't know what their final destination is. And here you are trying to follow them, and you're getting nowhere.
Yep. That's exactly right, Shane.
Yes.
When you see somebody, should be like, well, why you get that and I couldn't get that? Like, oh, now let me get some fire on my behind. And then, but that fire ain't good enough, because all you do is you fire to catch up. And then when you catch up, it's like when they level up, it's always a game. Like,
Yes.
Just live where you are. If you are okay with sitting at home and chilling, then sit at home and chill. Nobody's forcing you, but don't look at somebody else and be mad and be like, oh, you think you better than me. All right, told y'all. I don't think it, you think it. Why should I think anything? Because you already think it for me, right?
Now that we've been having these discussions, I start to really, I start to observe people more, because I thought that everyone wanted to get ahead in life, and that everyone had these big time goals, and I realized they are comfortable just being right there where they're at. And they continue. They had the same job for years and years, not really going anywhere. They're bitter. They still come to work,
Complaining.
and they're comfortable with that. Yeah, and it just makes you think that it's easy to get caught in that same, I guess, a trap. Not really a trap, but if you want something more for yourself, you can't continue to stay in that comfort zone with it. And sometimes we create our own. I think, like, not really fears, but we create stress on ourselves by trying to do something that's kind of out of our comfort zone. So you tend to take a step back, like, oh, I don't know it. Just say, like, when I was practicing for that motivational speech, and I sat there and I thought, I just created undue stress on myself, because now I have to prepare for it. I have to go with it. Am I delivering the right message that they want to hear? I said, I could have just not do this, and I wouldn't have to deal with this stress or this fear or this anxiety. But I knew that if I just push through it, it's only going to make me better. And that's my message to people, like, just push through everything. It's only going to make you better. And if you fail at it, you can look back on life and say, or that event and say, well, you know what? I definitely learned one thing. Maybe I'm not a motivational speaker, But if that's really what you want to do, you just got to continue on. You got to remember when we started this, when you started this, and then I, wanted to join you. You're like, hey, I'll have you on this one. You think I wasn't nervous?
Shane, you are 100%, and I'm waiting for him to come to his stopping point so I could come.
Yeah.
With my comment.
Well, you don't have to now because Shane just said it.
I'm waiting. Yes, we create our own mental barriers. We are doing something we aren't comfortable. So here's the deal. You ready? Are you done?
Yes, I'm done.
My special guest is about to come on in here.
Oh, okay.
So my thought process in everything you said, right? Like, yes, we do create our own mental barriers. We create our blocks. We create we create limiting beliefs. If you said before you got on the stage, right, I am going to shed light, bring the information to whomever needs it. It does not have to hit 100 people, but it will. Whoever needs to hear what I have to say, let me bring that message, right? And no matter what, go on there and know that you are bringing what somebody needs in that audience. Somebody needs to hear, because the minute you doubt yourself, you block yourself from bringing the message that you need to bring. So yes, I'm not saying go out there and be confident, step out there and like, woo, but step out there and be like, woo, like do it. Like, you know what? I am amazing. Listen, I'm not sure who else watched me pass on Wednesdays or watched one of my lives lately, but amazing is my word. Be amazing at everything you do. Show up, and regardless, nobody else can think less of you unless you let them, right?
That's right.
You walk up and say, I look nice today. I don't give a damn what you think. I think I look nice. I think I'm amazing. I know what I have to say is going to hit one person. Nobody else can tell me. Nobody else can steal your joy. Nobody else can tell you ain't no better than you believe. You allow people to put you in a place. And I know I hear a lot. So-and-so did this to me. No, they didn't. You did that. Because you allowed their My biggest thing is people come over with you with their stinking thinking, and they want to tell you how to live your life. Go about your business and worry about yourself. Unless I'm doing something that's going to kill you, don't worry about me and mine. Don't, because you don't get to tell me how to show up. And that's the problem. Everybody is your fears. And yes, it comes from past things in your life, things that happened when you grew up, and nobody ever standing behind you and saying, you got this no matter what you do. No matter what you say, you got this. It's going to help somebody. And I know I've told you, what are you nervous for? You have a message to say to somebody, just say what you got to say. You don't have to. Yes, Shane, use that. He said he's going to use thinking. I cannot stand when people come with their nasty words. I'm big on my energy. My bubble, step the hell back, because don't nobody got time for you in my circle when you want to come with your negativity. I don't. And I don't care who you are. I will not listen. I think back to like when I started to be like, truthfully, don't talk negative around me. Change your thoughts. For me now, it's like full force, right? Like, I know, like, when I say things to him, I'm like, so change your thoughts. I got it. I know. Listen.
Yeah, because it's really like I'm just putting it out there.
Yes, but here's the deal. That right there.
I know, but
put it out there.
It's not like my inner thoughts come out.
Here's the deal.
And I know when you say when you put it out there, you put it into existence and so on. But still, it's not like are you telling me there's times where you don't think of, like, excuse me?
No, there's not times.
Oh,
as soon as doubt creeps in, you gotta change that. You gotta change that station. You gotta
find the good, but sometimes the reality is it happens.
That's what I mean, there.
But what I'm saying is that what I'm saying is that when those thoughts come up and reality happens, you can change your thinking, your way of thinking, but the actions still happen. So what I'm saying is that I'm putting it out there that what happened. Not that I'm thinking any type,
But
any
you thought
negative
it,
way.
right?
But I am not getting defensive because that's probably what you're gonna say.
But you thought
No,
it, right? Like
I just stated
how?
out there. This is
So
what
here's the
happened,
deal.
Dave. Not
Let me
that
make this
I
very
wasn't
clear. Let me make this very clear.
okay.
Right? So let's use, for instance, I I don't even know what to think, right? So here's the okay. If something bad happens, right? Because you said it's something in your reality, right? If
Yes.
something bad happens, automatically, what is your thought? I knew that was going to happen, right?
If it's something negative, no.
So give me an example. Give me an example so I can tell you how I would react to it.
Okay, so if I said, basically, I'm telling you a story about what happened, on the job or on the way home, or I'm just giving you the story behind it, and it's like, well, you changed your way of thinking. Well, I did change my way of thinking, but I'm just telling you the story of what happened.
No, that's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. That's not what I
Okay.
mean. That's not what I mean. Let's get this straight. If you're telling a story and something happens, and I ain't never told you it. Okay, so yes, you called me one day. We're gonna do this.
No, we don't have to do it. I mean,
we don't. No, we're gonna do this. So he called me one day to tell me that they got this new system. I'm gonna just use that because that's the thing that came to my mind, right?
Okay.
Oh, babe, we got this new system. And oh my God, it's so stupid. Like, oh my God, I gotta do this and this and this and this.
I didn't say it like that, but go ahead.
You did. He did. His recollection of how he tells stories, I'm always the one like blah, 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 blah. And he's always like, I was all calm and collect, and I was
that's normally, yes,
and
that's normally the way
you're lying. You're lying.
That's normally the way it is.
Anyway, so he called me to tell me this system. Okay, let me try again. Babe, this system is so stupid. I don't like
I did not. Okay, I'm just gonna let you tell the story the way
yes.
you feel like
that's how it was.
Okay.
Oh man, we gotta do this extra thing and da 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 da. And I said, is it really that hard to learn? No, not really, but it's just stupid because it was the way we're doing it was already good enough. And I was like,
okay.
Well, how it was, Reginald. I said, how about we just learn how to do it and then we won't have to worry about it. I was just venting to you. I just wanted to tell you that it was stupid. I said, okay, cool.
I don't remember saying the word stupid.
Pause for a second. An hour later, no, when you came home. When you came home, you said, you know what, babe? I realized that I allowed so-and-so, I won't say his name, to put how he felt on me because that's how he came to me when he found out about this new thing. So here's the deal. We allow somebody's negative energy and their stinking thinking to direct how we feel about something. Because I'm going to tell you, Reginald makes it seem like I make things up as I go along, but I don't. I will tell you, and I am, when I respond, I said, if you just change how you look at it, it wouldn't be that bad. And for me, I just feel like creating more stress on yourself about something being stupid or dumb. Okay, maybe he didn't use the word stupid if that's what you want to drag onto, but if you didn't use it, like when people come into a situation like, oh, so-and-so, they done created something new. Nothing wrong with how we were doing this before. You're right. But until you're in charge of what's going on, you gotta roll with the damn punches and learn the new system and go into it just like, you know what? It's new. I think it's dumb, but I'm going to learn it and I'm going to learn it and do it amazingly, right? Like instead of bashing that thing and that one thing, it's like when you allow somebody else to vent to you about how they feel about something and you turn around and now you've partnered with them because you're like, yes, this is stupid. Why did they change it? Now you're both in agreement on that negativity.
Well, the way I look at things now for every situation is that there's obviously a reason why they did that. Now, the way I am, I like to know the reason why.
But is
Well,
that
why would
really,
they
does
do
that
this?
matter? Does
To me, it does because I this is my way of thinking. I'm always trying to figure out the why. Well, what's the why to this? Why are we doing this, or the purpose of it? What's the purpose of this? So, if for me, I like to try to figure that out in everything I do, and I think that's the way that I was kind of brought up is to understand the reason why behind something.
so that's just like I'm gonna take it there. So that's
Well,
like
let's
my
do it.
child, you telling my child to do something and she said why, and then your response is don't question me because I'm the adult, right?
No,
No? Oh,
no,
oh, okay.
no.
But you need it for she wants to know the why, right? Because you just told me that's how
Well,
you grew up.
because
So
because it's after I explain it, there's still a why. But why? It's almost like it doesn't make. I guess if it doesn't make sense to her, then you know what? Is this episode over with? Because I think we.
for me, it's your thoughts. They create, even if you don't speak it and you just think it, you have now visualized that negative thing.
But I feel like it's not if you, for me at least, when I think
Understanding the
about
why
my
helps
why,
you not focus on the negativity. I mean, not everybody's gonna tell
yes,
you the why though. Not
yes.
everybody's gonna tell. No, if
Shane
you
needs to
work,
come out. Shane needs to come live.
hey,
Because
you can come
he
on
understands. I
because
feel like we have a connection.
here's the deal. Because both of y'all sat in a high position in the military.
Yeah, that's the reason. That's why
That
we're
right
saying.
there. And for me, people don't have to tell you why. They don't have to. They don't
But
have to tell you
I
why.
think it helps produce a better.
But if we change our thoughts regardless, right? So if
Yes.
we come in and say, you know what? Today's gonna be amazing. No matter what these people got me out here doing, I'm still gonna get what I need to do done. And I'm still going to your focus needs to be on your goals, not what everybody else is doing.
That's right, but I can understand that. I guess it depends on your settings or your professional settings or wherever you're at the time. In the civilian world, out here in corporate America, yeah, I truly believe that. I really do. Now, I still think a lot about my military mindset is it ain't just about me. So I'm always focused on them more than I am me. Out here in the civilian world, it's almost like, and I've heard this before, the whole dog eat dog. It tends to be kind of true, but it doesn't have to be.
It
And it
doesn't.
goes back to what you're saying about changing your way of thinking. That's so true. But even then, I think there's a way to find that balance even in the military. And it goes back to, I guess, some of the things that recently come to my mind is about your professional purpose and your personal purpose. If you can align those two together, then I think you can accomplish that, both of them, by still being able to focus on you and still being able to focus on your team.
Yeah.
Um,
Just
but
knowing where you want to be, knowing your why and knowing you want to be is what will help you get focused, right? So if you're confused, you can't help nobody else. And
right.
you're going to lead them blindly because you have no idea what you're doing. And it comes to a point where you need to be honest with yourself and say, self, what do I want? What do I want to do? Where do I want to come from? How do I want to show up?
Yes. Here in how do I say this? In the military, it's not about just self.
But people are though. I mean,
but still, everything that you're doing, unless you don't have any subordinates or any responsibilities under you, it's hard to think about self because you have subordinates that you have to really, especially in the military.
How are you going to show up for them? That's the thing.
I mean, that's what I'm saying about your professional, your purpose, and your personal purpose, meaning that
it's not two different things.
No, but it is because right now we're talking about personal goals, way of thinking, and everything. But I got it. You can do that, but you also have responsibilities under you.
Yes, but your purpose in life, right? Yes, not everybody knows what their purpose in life is.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're talking about the military, right? What is your goal for what you want? How are you showing up to the job? Are you showing up in a positive mindset? And that in the end, no matter what you do, no matter what you say, your
I agree.
positive mindset in the position you're in now, wherever
I
you
agree.
are, how you show up at work is what matters. The balance technically really doesn't exist because it's it's always you trying to say, well, I can't do this because I'm going to do this, right? So when you merge the fact that you walk in your purpose can show up no matter where you are because you know where you want to go. And
I agree with that.
I'm not trying to
I
like
agree.
say that, everybody has to have a purpose, and I'm not trying to deny what you're saying, but people need to start changing how they think, because when you show up differently, you get different results. Your results, you start creating your reality. Like everybody's like, I hope, I pray, I blah blah blah. Hope and pray all you want, but decide, make a decision. If you decide right now, say you live in Alaska, you want to move to Texas, create what you want. Visualize you moving to Texas and everything following and flowing smoothly. And not everybody knows how to do it, but it starts now. Like start looking at things differently. Reach, if you want to send me a message and ask me to deeply go into this more, then send me a message. We can have a conversation, but do not blindly go out there and say that nothing's ever working for you, because that's what you're going to continue to get. Nothing ever working for you, because now that's all you think. You have now put so much energy in nothing ever working for you that that's exactly what you're going to always get. You come out and that negative energy, you are sitting there like, oh, I can't do that. I can't do that. You're right. You can't, because now you've done it. You have said, I can't do that. And the power you put behind that I can't now overpowers everything. Every amazing opportunity come in front of you, and you're just like, I can't do that. But then you mad because you only working at McDonald's and getting minimum wage, or you can't get nobody, or you can't keep a job, right? But if you show up differently and continue to, I understand people like, what's in front of me, I can't think positive when I have drama in front of me. Well, you're gonna have to keep having drama if you can't look at it better. You're always gonna have negative come to you if you only see the negative. You are still alive. You still got things. You got breath in you. You. That is one thing to be grateful for, because you're not in, under the ground. What, 6 feet under? You're not under. So you're alive. God gave you another opportunity to do it again. You got it. We 5 days into this new year. What's that? 360 days left. Tomorrow is a new damn day. Change your thoughts now. Don't even wait till tomorrow. Change your thoughts now. Like, you know what? I'm gonna get everything I need. Everything always works out for me.
I hands down that you're spot on. I think if you say start now, you have to really start now. And I cannot preach it more that you have to write it down, because when you write it down, you can start checking it off.
Yes.
And if you don't start checking it off, the things that I say that I'm going to do today, you may not even remember 2 or 3 days later. And then when you're talking to somebody else and they say, hey, this is what I did. I just went to this school. I just completed this. Oh, I was going to do that too. Well, why didn't you do it? Man, I forgot all about it. Most people don't have, at least the people that I've come across that I talk to, and some of them have suicidal ideations. It comes back to they don't really have a purpose. And I'm going to let you hit on this, because I can't really guide them to figure out what their purpose is in life. I can give them some advice, but just talking to you and how in the previous episodes, you have to find that purpose.
You
And if
have to
you
want
don't have that purpose, yes, if you don't have that purpose, you don't have nothing to occupy your mind. You start thinking back on the bad things, or thinking back on past failures.
So for me, when that with that, right, you don't know what to do, start writing stuff down. Like I'm gonna always come back to that, right? So you have bad thoughts, write them down, right? Here's the deal. Here's a ritual, right? And people take it how you want to take it. Take it. Don't take it. Don't do it. Don't do whatever. Write down your bad thoughts, right? And it works best if you do it on a full moon, you know, the new moon. It works best when it's the perfect timing, right? And we have a new moon, we have a full moon coming up. For us in East Coast, is the 17th of January. For people in Sydney and places like that, it's the 18th. So in a full moon, it's when you write down and you release what's bothering you. You burn it. You have to burn it. Like you write it down, and when you burn it, you want to release those thoughts and those limiting beliefs that are holding you back. And you burn it and you release it. And you have to come from a place after that of where you're content with what you feel and what you've said will no longer limit you. I'm not saying you're going to forget about it, but it will no longer limit you from creating and going where you want to go. So try it, don't try it, don't burn it, but write it down and see how you feel after you've written it down. And get a journal and write it down. You don't have to share it. You don't have to show anybody, but get a journal and write the things down that are hindering you, that are limiting you, and see where you're come from after that. Because in your writing, you can tell yourself what you want to do. You can show, like, it'll show up in little bits of ways. Like you'll have a conversation with somebody and something will come up. Things get revealed to us once we are honest with ourselves about where we want to be. Because I'm gonna tell y'all, this playing the damn victim, it gets friggin' old. Don't nobody want to hear it anymore when you play the victim and you ask somebody, because we talked about this last time, right? You're asking for help, but then you sit on your behind and you don't want to take anybody's advice. But then you want to say nobody wants to help you. Do they really not want to help you? You don't want to damn help yourself. That's what we need to really get down to. You need to figure out, do you really want help? Or do you want to just continue to play the damn victim? Because in 2022, stop being a victim. Freaking stand up and own what you want and move the hell on. Like, I'm not telling you to forget and overcome something that happened for you for multiple years, but damn, how long are we gonna victimize what we had happen instead of creating something new? And that's where we limit ourselves from creating, because you still trying to drag that shit from 20,000 years ago. It can be 20,000 years, but I'm just going to say that 20 years ago onto your 2022. So you brought the old into the new, thinking you was going to get something different. You don't get nothing different if you don't start doing something different. And that's what it boils down to. You cannot get the same, anything new with the same cruddy crap you keep pushing out to people. Now, Mercury goes into retrograde, and a lot of people don't know what that means, or they throw it out there like it's a bad thing, good thing. It's really not a bad thing unless when you prepare yourself, right? So Mercury, when it goes into retrograde, it messes with communication. So, and Mercury goes into retrograde for 3 weeks. So this means you have to be very clear and concise on what you say to somebody. Your words will get twisted. Any emails you send, you have to double check. Any contracts you're doing, you have to double check. Anything you do from January 14th to February 4th, be mindful. Be very mindful of that, because that 3 weeks, things could get very twisted and very altered. And this plays a big part in mindset, because everybody thinks that they can say whatever they want, and when somebody snap back at them, they mad because they feel as though people shouldn't talk to them like that. But you didn't care how you talk to somebody else, but you mad because they talk to you that way, right? But be very, very, very mindful from January 14th to February 4th on what you do and how you show up, because that's going to affect. You cannot cross a bridge when you burn it, just so you guys know, because that's that right there, that bridge you want to cross back over because you didn't said what you said because you was mad, instead of stopping and thinking about what you actually meant. You can never take those words back. Just know that.
So I want to hit on two things here.
Okay.
One, going back to what you said just now about the communication piece,
Yep.
especially between a man and a woman.
Yep.
We've talked about this a few episodes ago, because I know several people who feel like they are the victim in a relationship because they didn't really agree to what their spouse was doing or what they were saying. They feel like they've done everything, and verbally they feel like they've done everything, but physically, did they really show it? No, they probably didn't show it.
Alex, I can teach you. Just message. We can chat.
Yeah, well, communication and peace. So I would like to hit on that again sometime,
We can talk about
and
it.
to invite some groups that I know that could really use
Are they gonna come?
that information.
Are they
Well,
gonna
if they
We can
don't
talk about
come
it.
when it happens, they'll definitely listen. They'll definitely listen to it.
We can talk about it because go ahead.
But going back to writing everything down,
Mhm.
because I had this conversation where they said they were writing it down.
Okay.
But there's more to just writing it down.
Yes.
You got to go revisit it every day. You got to read over it because some
You have
things
to
may
visualize
change.
what you want, right? So let's talk about your car thing, your BMW, right?
A Porsche. Oh, okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, let's talk about his Porsche. Let's talk about the Porsche, right? So my husband looks at this Porsche, looks at dealerships, right? But for me, he takes no action.
Whoa. What happened to being positive?
Your action behind this car.
Hold on.
Okay.
When we talk about action, no, go ahead. Please.
I'm waiting. Go ahead.
No, please.
So the Porsche thing. I didn't know this was a thing.
Oh, you didn't know it was a thing.
We doing this, right? So the Porsche. Do you have a picture up anywhere?
Yes.
Where is it?
Just because you haven't seen it doesn't mean
Where
I don't have a
is
picture.
it?
And I have one right here on my phone.
Where
I would love
is
to show
the
you.
picture?
Okay, continue, please.
Where is the picture?
Continue, please.
Reginald, where is?
I'm
I
about
don't
to
want you to show me
the
on the
picture.
phone.
I have
want
one
you to
in my office. I have one on my phone. Go ahead.
in your office.
Yeah, I have it in my office because that's where I work, and it's on my wall. I have my vision board there. I have my vision board on my phone. I continue to write it down. Not only do I do that when we talk about this Porsche, I started going down to the interior, the exterior, the type of rims, the options for inside, the double sunroof.
Are you done?
Yes, I'm done.
Okay. So having a vision board at your job does half the work, right?
Yes.
In everything we do, we have a success area. If you want to figure out your success area, you can download the Marie Diamond app. You can look at the Boudoir map. Anything that, I'm going to open my phone. Anything that tells you where your success area is, right?
Okay.
So for me, the Marie Diamond app looks like this. When I face it to me, my success area is behind me. So in your job, I know you can't take your phone.
Well, hold on. Yeah, that's why I have it pinned on my wall. So, but even with that, that is your technique and that's your way.
Okay.
You can't say that for.
Okay. You asked me and I answered,
Yes.
right? That was my answer.
Yes.
You asked me and I'm answering it. So for you to tell me that I'm not right, because that's what
I'm not saying you're not right. What I'm saying is that what you have is not saying that because I don't have it.
I'm not saying that you have to have this. I'm telling you that your vision needs to be everywhere you are. You don't spend all your life, all your time, all your days in your office. So
That's right.
you having a vision board in your office is really not the place for it. It's at your home where you're creating where your space is, your creation. It's there. You can have it on your phone. I'm not saying not to have it on your phone, but your house does not show your vision. If your wife does not know you have a damn picture up in your office, that does not prove it is a vision, because you didn't share.
It's my vision. It's not your vision. It's my vision. So just because you don't see it doesn't mean
that right there is why people's vision take long time, because you don't make an agreement.
Have I seen your vision board?
That the person that you've created it with, right?
Oh, this is good. I like this episode because you know
my vision board's in my closet in my success area.
Your closet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It is. It's, and I know, you know,
right after this episode, guess where we're going? We're going to your closet.
Walking down,
check this thing out. We're going to
go walking down the street. Walking down the street.
Well, we're going to go step by step on this diagram
on my vision board.
We're going to talk about the northeast, southwest.
On my vision board.
Talk about Mercury
Contractor
and Saturn.
On my vision board. Walking down the street, contractor showed up. My vision board is connected to everything. But his vision board is in his office.
Okay.
Anyway, moving on.
Yes. So, let's move on, because even though this episode ends, we're going to continue this.
No, we're not.
This is a great topic.
I have given enough energy to this conversation. It's done. So creating our reality. Your vision is not just in one spot. So to the end of that, your vision is not, it doesn't just show up in one place. And when two or more agree on the vision, it's more likely to happen when two or more agree. So I'm over him. We're going to move on. So to wrap up, it doesn't end, but we will be back. Showing up and creating your reality is where you need to live. Being more present with what you want and what you want to create is what Shane said. I have to drop. Would love to join. We would love to have you on here. Yes. We can sideline chat and see what's best for you and what Wednesday will be best for you to show up with us. But thank you for sharing the space and time with us.
Yes, I enjoyed it.
When we show up in anything we do, it's backing with the positive, knowing that regardless of what the situation is, things happen for a reason. And it's not to throw you off your game. It's not to come for you. It's not the devil is messing with me. It's for you to look for the positive in that and see why it's happening. What lessons do you have to learn when something doesn't work the way you want it to work? What is it and how do you need to show up is what is very important. It's not about, oh, I suck at my job. My job sucks. You suck at your job because you show up with that negative. Instead of you showing up and saying, Alex, he got your back. Instead of you showing up and saying that, I hate this. Everybody in here sucks. And nobody's ever going to do any better. You're right. If you think positive, you'll get positive. If you think negative, you'll get negative. But your words that come out your mouth can't contradict what you're thinking in your head. Because you're going to just because you think it, negativity still comes from that. But yeah, would you like to share anything else before we go?
Thank you for watching, everyone. It's been a great episode. I look forward to learning a little bit more about this vision board and different techniques and ways that certain people do it. But what I do know is that if you write it down, if you read it every day, if you continue to add to it, if you refine it and you start going down to certain specs and everything, it will happen. When you do write it down, you'll start seeing that there may be some speed bumps in the way that you may either need to go around or go through, or even come up with a different way of getting to the other side. But I'm gonna figure out how to refine my vision board shortly, and I would love to continue this discussion the next episode.
You guys have a great night.